allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Introduction of members. We have Angie Robinette on the phone, and Ed Evans is on the phone, Larkin Rippeth, and we have Margaret Beavers. I'm Georgia West, and the superintendent and her secretary of the meeting, Dr. Barker. This time we'll have the approval of the minutes of June the 2nd, 2025, the regular session.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Larkin. Second by Margaret. Do you have any questions? Comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of minutes of the June 2nd, 2025 special session. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Margaret. Second by Larkin. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
We have no delegations and speakers. The next item is discussion items, board member reports and presentation. The first is the DLT grant overview with Walter Newcomb.
You know what, I thought that should be
Get your finger there. Ms. Robinette and Ms. Evans, I will have copies of the PowerPoint for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just need the top piece there. Yeah, close enough. Good evening, everyone. How's everybody today? This will be my short elevator pitch, so I won't take up much of your time. This grant allows, if you see distance learning for telemedicine, what this grant allows us to do is apply for equipment, for money for equipment that will provide remote instruction in classrooms. And let's see. Now, right here. Now, the requirements. Now, whatever funding that we get, there is a 15% match. Fortunately, we have a reality, this is a big word, reality score, to average 30 to 40. Now, I'll talk about the score here in a minute, but these are the things that we've completed. We've worked with Ms. Kahn on, we'll make sure that we're in the SAM system, we're in grants.gov, all of our registrations are correct. Now, we're looking, and the additional paperwork that's in the packet that I gave you talks about the Lou and the smart tech devices. Now, I think there was a smart display in here for a while. Did you guys get to take a look at it? That's what we're moving towards, mobile, and that's what will be at the new school. We want to take these and put them everywhere else. And now that you see here, we're at $38,000 per unit, and those are the 6 sites that we want to do. And I've already taken pictures of the sites, making sure that they can accommodate what we want to do there. Now, in your packet, I ask that you take a look at your packet over the next week or two, so that when you come back, if you have any additional questions about the hardware or the specs, I can help you out. Now, here's the good part. Our eligibility for this grant is based on these factors here at the top. Again, rurality, our economic need, which you see we score all the points that we can possibly get. Plus, they gave us, I'm not sure what the special concessions are. We've got additional 10 points for that. So we're looking at a total of 80. The average score for this is 30 to 40 that people get awarded. So that's where we stand. So there's a very, very good chance that we'll get this grant if applied for. But I'm here, I want to make sure that I get a board approval before I move forward. Because that's, if not, I'll know I have to stop and I'll move on to the next project. But I want you guys to be fully aware and fully informed as to what I've been working on. Now, this, like, this is a quick one, so if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them if you have them on the hardware, what I'm working on now. I do ask that to take a look at the paperwork. Yes, ma'am.
So what you would want the board members to do, Mr. Newcomb, is to review what you're proposing
Correct.
to apply for, which would be just enhancing that technology, instructional technology in our classrooms, and also providing some more capacity for like telemedicine, because we do have
Yes, and remote instruction as
the
well.
remote
Yeah.
instruction, which with floods, we know how important it is to make sure we ease the access of that. And once the board members review, and I have the packets for Ms. Robinette and Mr. Evans, so then we'll be able to see if you want to put it as an action to approve you.
And then I
applying for the
continue
grant.
pursuing the grant and working towards that goal.
Okay.
Dr. Barker,
Yes.
I heard very little of what he said. Could you just maybe give me an overview, spiritual overview, what the grant's for?
So the grant is would provide us with access to different venues to provide like remote instruction, and just help us create better communication for like our telehealth providers, for example, as well as our classrooms. So what Mr. Newcomb is looking at is asking for the money, and the grant here could propose up to $1 million in funding, and the county match would be 15%, so we will have to, of course, work with Ms. Khan to make sure we have that match. And what he's proposing to apply for through this grant is the Lou Interactive Playground for Caulfield, Sandy River, Bradshaw, Mount View Middle School, Southside, and Yeager, as well as just that's pretty much that system is a $38,000 per unit, and it pretty much transforms any place into like an interactive environment through technology, but it also blends physical activity and educational games. So he is wanting to install that, and also to have the smart displays, like we had one here at in a board meeting, like little standalone smart board. So to get that into the other schools. But for him to be able to start on that grant, he of course would need the board approval to pursue that funding, because it requires 15% match from us. And that just, looking at this kind of cost, which would be up to $1 million that we would request, of course this would enhance the technology capabilities in our schools and provide us with something that usually we would not have this much money to devote to technology.
No.
So that's pretty much in the short, but we don't have to make any decisions now. I will have these papers for you, and once you all have had time to review this, then one of you can request to have it put on the board agenda for your action, should you desire to move with the grant.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
None of this? You just want us to go over these?
Please, yeah, just go over those. Just a brief outline. If you want to get into the weeds, I can, but I didn't want to get you with that tonight.
And Mr. Newcomb is available if anybody wants to come up and talk technology.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Okay,
All righty.
next item on the agenda, McDowell County Board of Education Monthly Financial Report. Jenna Kahn, our treasurer.
So I provided you all with a monthly report. The month-to-date revenues as of the end of May was $5.4 million, and that was up from last year. Last year, the same month, we were at $2.8 million, so that was good for revenues. And then our month-to-date expenditures was $5.4 million, so about equal out there. So did y'all have any questions about anything specific?
Any questions?
So just a reminder, like we are going to keep on putting these on your second board meeting of the month. just so that you could see how much money we're getting in on a larger scale, how much money is going out. This way you can kind of keep track. And of course, anytime we have any additions or updates, we'll make sure we'll let you know. But this is just a good way to keep transparent with you as to this is our financial standing as a board.
Okay. The next is a proposed board meeting schedule for 2025-26. Dr. Barker.
So I wanted to put it on the board agenda for discussion, because usually, you know, when we meet first meeting in July, then you vote on a schedule. So I wanted to have a discussion beforehand as to what options you would like to pursue, because you, for the last few years, you met every first and third Monday of the month. So if this is something you want to keep, or you have other propositions, I just wanted to have this as a venue for you as a board to discuss and agree on what you would like to have as a schedule moving forward for 25-26 school year, and what will happen after that. Once you decide which way you would like to go, I will create a schedule for you to approve at the next board meeting.
As you all know, I have started a new job, and with this position, I am out of town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of each week. So I would like to look at possibly moving the board meetings, if everyone would be in agreement, to the Thursday of that first and third week. Keep the time and stuff, but I'm always back in town by the afternoon of that Thursday. So if not, the only way I'll be able to attend the meetings will be virtual, and I just don't think that's very beneficial for me or you all.
Well, I have no problem with the Thursday.
I don't have any problem with Thursdays.
Larkin? Okay, so what we'll do then, I will create a schedule that will have board meetings, for the most part, every first and third Thursday of the month. Of course, we'll, if anything, any holidays happen in between, we'll just move it to the next day. That's usually been the practice. And there are a couple of meetings that are statutory, like in April, you have that second Tuesday of the month that you have to meet to enter into the levy. So those will kind of be out of the ordinary. And in June, usually I try, if it falls like this, on the fourth week in June, because finance appreciates to have more time to pay the bills and make sure they close out the year. So what I'll do, I will create the schedule and I will share it with you for your review. And then when you close out, you will then just set the date for the next meeting in July, because you don't have that schedule yet, but we'll look it up.
Okay.
Does it sound like a good plan?
I appreciate everyone working with my schedule, because I really enjoy being on the board and want to continue if possible.
We appreciate you too, Ms. Robinette. Okay.
So our meeting, when we go to July meeting, is when we set this, right? Not the, do we,
So you're,
first-
in July, you,
is that this first Monday or Tuesday or something like that?
it's not an election year, so you don't have to stick to the first Monday of the month on that one. Next year you will have to, because it's going to be an election year, you'll have to do the organizational meeting. So this would be, July 3rd would be your first Thursday of the month, but it's coming right before the, July 4th, which is a holiday, so I don't know if you wanted to meet July 10th instead, or keep the July 3rd, just to continue with the first Thursday of the month for the first meeting.
I'm good either way.
Like, want to
Mr.
do-
Evans?
I'm sorry, I muted my mic here. I don't have any problem with what you're saying there at all, actually. I did think for a second there, we do have a lot of ball games on Thursday nights, especially middle school ball games. But again, it is what it is. I don't have a problem. Let's make it easy for Miss Robinette.
Okay. Would you be okay with July 3rd for the first meeting, or you would, you're out maybe for a holiday, and would you rather do it July 10th?
The 10th would be better for me.
You all okay? Because that will be just our first meeting. After that, we'll set the schedule. I'll have that for you.
Okay.
Okay, let's do July 3rd for our first meeting of the year. Oh, July 3rd, July 10th, I'm sorry, July 10th
Okay.
for a first meeting of 25-26 school year. And at that meeting, you will approve the schedule for the board meetings.
Okay.
Sounds good. Any other questions? None. Next item on the agenda is personnel. We have several pages of the personnel.
Because you have summer school.
And do we have a motion to approve the personnel agenda?
Motion to approve.
Larkin made a motion. You want a second?
That's fine.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Margaret has to abstain.
Okay. Okay. Margaret abstained on that one. The volunteer agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the volunteer agenda? Motion by Margaret, second by Larkin. Do you have any questions on the volunteer agenda?
Mr. Evans and Ms. Robinette, we had 3 additions to this one. It's Brian Cartwright, Edward Davis, and Chelsea Davis. They were added, so they're not on the original list that you have received.
I know them all. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. All in favor, go ahead.
I have one question. Aaron Kendry, is he going back to football? Is that one of the ones that quit or resigned?
This one is a general one, but, they have to renew, and Tanya can tell us, they have to renew every year anyways, for our volunteer coach. So usually you will have quite big agendas for the volunteer for the next few weeks, just because it's a yearly process and we have to go through this. Usually we try to get them in on July agendas so that we are ready usually for the sports season.
Okay.
Tanya, do you have anything to add?
No, he's a long-term substitute teacher, so his certification is good for 30 years.
So, in case you did not hear, he's a long-term substitute teacher, so his certification is good for 3 years, but we like to renew these it's a volunteer status, every single year.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Next item is the finance allowed and authorization of payment of bills and budget revisions. Invoices presented for payment are available in the finance office during normal business hours. Do we have a motion to approve the
I
finance?
make a motion.
We got through. I'll put Angie. Larkin, second. Any questions concerning the budget? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Budget supplements and transfers. It's additional budget supplements and transfers may be added and will be presented prior to or at a scheduled Board of Education meeting. The budget supplements and transfers, we do have those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got an extra copy, Ms. Khan gave it to you, and I think, Ms. Evans, I sent you one, and it has an additional one in yellow. We have, Fund 11.5 million and then House Bill 5404, professional learning, in Fund 61 for 25,000. So if you have any questions about all of these budget supplements and transfers, Ms. Khan is here to answer any of your questions.
Would like a little more explanation on exactly what the local project is. That's a lot of money.
$1.5 million.
So that was,
If she could
numerous.
come up close to the phone, would be great.
Sure. Let me get to that one. Wait a second.
Here, you want this one? Because it's highlighted one.
Okay, so basically, these are budget supplements that were done in local projects. And what that means is that's how we establish our budget into our WEBIS accounting system. So it's not 1.5 million coming out from anywhere, but that's us establishing that in our budget in WEBIS. And we've had several here. We had an E-rate reimbursement. We had our flood donation, the Blackburn Memorial Scholarship, our Medicaid reimbursement, and then, let's see.
Have to make the salaries.
Yeah, and that was it. So basically, we are establishing those budgets in our accounting system, is what the supplement is.
Okay, you state those are not coming out of the budget, correct?
No, we are establishing those in our budget.
So what happens, Mr. Evans, like, I think we talked a few weeks ago, like the way some of these reimbursements work, like for example in Fund 61, like we have to, like if we spend money on salaries, after that we request money from the state and the state reimburses us in a way. So like you have, so it's several, like you have the E-rate, you know, we have some of the reimbursement that comes from like those services, and of course there's local share as well. And when you have food services, like we pay and then we ask for reimbursement. So we have to be able to create those line items so that when we pay out, we have something to pay out of. But we know that on some of these, because there is some county share, we cannot just say it's 100% reimbursable, but we'll know that it will come back, because when she draws the funds, it will come back to us at the share percentage that we have to have with like food reimbursements or E-rate reimbursements. I know it's convoluted, like halfway sometimes I have to go and ask her, you know, how this stuff works, but that's pretty much my understanding in layman terms.
Yeah, I think I'm good with it. The amount is not coming, it's Fund 11, but it's not coming out of our budget.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the budget supplements and transfers? Motion by Margaret. Second by Larkin. Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval to authorize school fundraiser events. The first one's Mount View High School Varsity Cheerleaders Goodwill Donation Trailer, August the 3rd through August the 10th, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
Second by Margaret. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And the next one is Mount View High School Varsity Football Goodwill Donation Trailer, August the 10th through August the 17th, 2025. Do you have a
I'll
motion?
make a motion. Sorry.
Motion by Angie,
Second.
second by Margaret. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The action items is approval of agreement the County Commission Sheriff's Department School Resource Office Program, the SRO. Motion by Margaret, motion by Larkin, second by Margaret. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of agreement, County Commission Sheriff's Department Security, extracurricular activities and events. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Margaret made a motion. Second by Angie.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of agreement, County Commission Sheriff's Department Security for board meetings. We have a motion to approve. Motion by Larkin. Second by Margaret. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Final approval of repealed policy 8-016, administrative pay index. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Margaret. Second by Larkin. All in favor signify by saying aye.
There were no comments on the policy.
Okay. Next is final approval of repealed policy 8-027, substitute administrator pay. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Larkin.
I'll second.
Margaret.
Okay.
Angie second.
Yes.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. A final approval of revised policy 8-015, salary schedules. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Angie made a motion. Second by Margaret. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, final approval of revised policy 8-023, athletic activities, minimum standards. We have a motion to approve. Motion by Larkin. Second by Ed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Final approval of revised policy 11-041, the dual credit. We have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Margaret made a motion.
I'll second.
Second by Angie. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of the 2025-2026 contract start and end dates. Motion by Larkin. Second by Margaret. Any questions?
So as I told you previously, we have to make sure that we are more and more transparent about everything that comes from the board. So legislature last year, not this year, but last year, wanted to make sure that the employees know when their start dates are, when their contract dates end. And we usually, we post the calendar and we make sure they know when the school year starts. But this time we kind of wanted to go a little bit further and just really be proactive and post those dates on when the contract starts and ends, because you have 200 days, which is teachers, then you have 203 days, 210, 220, and 230-day contracts, which are different. You tack on days on either end of the 200-day contract. So that's what you see, different dates, and that will be posted on the county page and will be sent to the principals so they can share with their staff.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Did Ed say aye?
Yes.
Okay. Approval of employment dates for the 2025-2026 school year. Motion by Larkin. Second by Margaret. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Number 11, approval of contract with Edwards Educational Leadership Coaching Services for the 2025-2026 school year for $230,000. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Margaret,
I'll second.
second by Angie. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Approval of contract with Asphalt Consulting for reading coaching for the 2025-2026 school year for $190,000. We have a motion to approve. Motion by Margaret. Second by
I'll second.
Angie. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of the 2025-2026 salary schedules. Do we have a motion to approve those? Motion. Larkin made a motion. Angie second.
Yes.
So, well, do a discussion.
All in favor, oh, you want discussion on this? Okay.
So this will be posted on our personnel page, and this is, like I told you before, this is a document that Ms. Khan has spent a lot of time, and Ms. Mullins was helping her. We involved Ms. White, and it just goes into that transparency, because anybody who comes in, they need to be able to see what they would be making, because for now, like, people could not even find where everything was. So we are trying to put everything that the board pays, so you have teacher salaries, you have service salaries, any supplemental contracts, your coaching supplements are in it, so that it's all in one document, so you don't have to go and piecemeal find things. That's why you repealed policy on substitute, administrative substitute pay, because it's in there, it's in this document, and you repealed the policy, revised the policy on coaching supplements. So there is still some work that we have to do, because I know you wanted me to look into the revision of coaching pay, and we're also looking at different, ways to help maintenance salaries. But that would have to be through cutting the contracts for some and for the coaches, and making sure we repost with the new salaries, because we cannot add this to something that's existing already. So that's all in the works. We will be pushing those policies up to you for revision and review pretty much before the winter break will come in, and then those changes will be made on this document when you approve it in the next June. But it's as comprehensive as we could make it. I think it took quite a lot of effort to put it, and again, we have not had anything like this, so it had to be made from scratch. But every time you do any of the changes, you have to be cognizant that people are getting paid. We don't want to, mess with people pay. So we had to make sure our formulas that were simpler and people could actually use them to calculate instead of relying on us, they still resulted in the same salary. So we did not, give less to anybody, not really, we did not give more. We just tried to be really within those standards of those old repealed policies.
It's a good idea. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Next item is the superintendent updates.
So wanted to share several things with you, and again, I have the handouts that I will make sure Ms. Robinette and Ms. Evans you get. We have created the portrait calendar for next year, so we kind of try to make it easier and better every year. So this one has, of course, the whole calendar, but it also has sideline notes on like what days we have midterms go out, what days we have holidays. So it just kind of gives you as much information on one sheet of paper as possible. So once we review this, I'll be posting it on our website as well. And I know Ms. Payton shared the family view calendar with the families on Facebook, so we'll have that on our calendar. So just some notes. First day of instructional term is August 28th. That's when the teachers come in. They have their professional learning and all that stuff. Our first day for students in grades 1 through 12 will be on September 2nd. We are still waiting on pre-K calendar to be approved, so once that one is approved, we'll give you dates, because they have different expectations and guidelines to go by. And of course, without OSC days, last day of instructional term is June 8th. And if we end up using OSC days on some, just like we did this year, we'll be going till quite late. You also have the high school finals, and high school graduations are on June 4th, which is late because we are starting late and we are finishing late. So I have this calendar to share with you, and it will be on our website as soon as this meeting is over. And Ms. Robinette and Ms. Evans, you have those as well in your packets that I will have ready for you. Right before the board meeting, I received this email from our state superintendent, and as you know, in a board meeting a couple of weeks ago, the state board voted unanimously to comply with the state law regarding required school immunizations as it's written in West Virginia Code 16-3-4. So the state board also directed the state superintendent to notify all school districts to follow the law that has been in place since 1937. So this is in line with the actions of the legislature, because they did not vote in favor of religious exemptions for vaccines. So I received this, wanted to share this with you, and as the superintendent, I want to follow the law of West Virginia, which is we have mandates on vaccinations, and we stick to the law that's in the books. So I just wanted to share this with you. And the last one, I know you have been have been emailed this from Ms. Payton. You know that we are closing 3 facilities and consolidating them into Caulfield Elementary. And of course, when we had several requests, and I'm sure you have been bombarded with several requests from organizations about donating equipment, donating furniture. So in law, in West Virginia Code 18-5-7, any equipment, furnishings, or other assets associated with the school must be handled through specific board-approved processes. So there are 2 options. Items may be sold at a public auction to ensure transparency and fiscal responsibility, or items may be donated to an approved and documented nonprofit organization, but only with prior approval by the Board of Education. So what we'll do in the month of July, if we get letters from the nonprofits, we will review those for the status of the nonprofit, for the need, and put those up for the board to approve. And I'll just say, we've had these letters, I recommend your approval. This way, we will be able to donate to those nonprofits, and whatever else is going to be left, we will use the public auction venue to finish this disbursement of the items. So I just wanted to have this just as a copy for yourself. So if anybody asks, you can direct them to me or Ms. Payton, and we will explain, but we would need the letter from those organizations for you to review and approve as a board. That's all I have.
Okay, so our next meeting is going to be July the 10th, right?
July the 10th.
Okay, at this time it's 5:40. We have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Margaret,
I'll second.
Second by Angie. All in favor signify by saying aye.